Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back, and you're watching Blue Dog Aquatics. Now today we're doing something a little special. We're doing Talk Time with Jimmy. Y'all remember him? Jimmy, say hi to our viewers.
Hello everybody.
Now, he's going to be giving me his input on this show tank right here. You remember from the first video, we talked about it very briefly. It holds our fancy RTs. Now, the great thing about this tank that I love is that we started with one generation and now it is a multi-generation tank. I honest to God can't even tell you how many shrimp there are in here because there's so many hiding spots that every day I walk up and I see new babies in new generations, which is awesome. Now, a little bit about this tank is the plants that are up here, we actually just trimmed them back. They were getting a little overgrown and just a little clustered, so we cut them back. They're called water sprites. They're very fast growing plants, and I love them because they just got a nice flow to them in the tank, and obviously the shrimp love them too.
They look bushy.
Yes, Jimmy, they definitely are. They're very bushy at the tops.
I'm bushy too.
Yes, Jimmy, I know I need to get you groomed. But so the water sprites actually they have multi bases for the stems, and then as they're growing up they'll actually split, and which allows them to spread out over a longer and a bigger area. And so if you don't keep a close eye on it, it can get out of hand. That's why we recommend cutting back.
I don't have hands.
Yes, Jimmy, you got, well, I can't even say you have hooves because you don't. But I know you do like plants, so I guess you could eat them if you wanted to trim them back. That is, I mean, I guess.
I'm not a vegetarian.
Oh man, Jimmy, then what do you eat?
I like meat.
Well, I mean, so do I. So I guess we'll get you a snack a little bit later.
Fantastic.
All right. So it depends on your tank and how you run it, but
You can't run. I got no hands.
Jimmy, I know that. I know you can't. You're kind of stuck on my wall, but I do value your input here. So, with the water sprite, I do recommend cutting it back at your leisure. If it seems like it's overgrowing and overpopulating your tank, cut it back. Trust me, it will grow rapidly. I cut mine back about once a month, once to every 2 months, depending on its accelerated growth rate.
Gotta trim the bush.
Yes, definitely, Jimmy. You sure do. Alright guys, next we're going to talk about the light. Now this light is a Fluval Smart 24/7 for planted aquariums. You can actually, it's Bluetooth compatible where you can download the app on your phone. You can change all the settings to fit your need. If you need it a little richer for your plants that you have that are maybe red and need a little bit of extra boost, guess what? You can fine tune it as far as when the lights come on, when they come off. My lights come on at about 10 o'clock in the morning. They start fading out about 6 p.m. and then they're fully off around 8. And honestly, the tank and the live plants, it shows it because we're constantly cutting this tank back. Now, we're going to talk about the substrate next. Now, Fluval Stratum is what I use. It's a great substrate. It's great fertilizer and keeps up the minerals in the tank for the plants. It's a great package here. You can get them in small bags and in large. And yeah, the minerals are just insane that come with this package. Now, I like to get, this is a 17-pound bag. And as you can see, you know, it's 4 shrimp, it's 4 plants, and it brings your pH down, which is awesome. The minerals are insane with it, and look at all those awesome colors of those plants. I've used this substrate with all my tanks, no matter if it's just a simple shrimp tank that just has a couple minor plants in it, or if I have a complete 60-gallon that is decked out with plants. This is my go-to. Now, Fluval Stratum is also one really cool thing about this. It's volcanic soil for planted aquariums. Now that's just awesome. Now, the rock that's in here is actually a coral rock. It was in a saltwater tank a long time ago, and it sat dormant and dry in a shipping container that I had. Now, people say, you know, you don't want to put coral or something that came from saltwater into a freshwater tank because, you know, you could have bacteria and stuff like that that could transfer. Even if a coral rock is completely dry, it still may have foreign contaminants on it. So what I like to do with any rock, whether I get it from a big box store or whether it's in my own collection, anytime I use it, I take it out. I have a 55-gallon barrel that I use. I put it in there, I mix in RO water, and we add prime. So that way it helps sterilize the rock, and that way, and then when we get done with it, we'll actually wash it off again. That way anything that came loose in the week-long process of it getting sterilized will break free, and that way we'll have a good clean rock.
I'm sterile too.
Yes, you are, Jimmy, but we got to be careful what we talk about that. I know that was a rough day. Now moving on, I do love this as being, this rock, it's one of my favorites. I call it my skull rock because if you look right here, you can see the nose and the eyes. It's kind of creepy at night when you walk up to it. The first night I saw it, it actually scared me once I realized it was there. And once you see it, you cannot not see it.
All I know is fear.
Yes, Jimmy, but it's okay. I'm here with you.
It's so scary.
I know, but at least you're facing this way and you don't have to stare at the rock.
My eyes are on the sides of my head. It's the only way I can look.
True. That is true that you can see it because your eyes are on the side, but it's okay. I'm right here for you. Now moving on to the fancy RTs.
I wish my dad was here with me. I don't know my dad.
Now on to the fancy RTs. They are from Southeast Asia. They're a mix between a bee and a tiger. And now tigers are still new, and there's still a lot in the habitat that people are learning as far as the husbandry of red tigers. And a lot of them are actually referred to as fancy RTs.
The tiger ate my mom.
Well, that's unfortunate, Jimmy. It's okay. I know that happened last week.
I'm sad.
It's okay, Jamie. Don't worry, our viewers will help make you feel better by liking and subscribing and dropping a comment down below just for Jimmy to help him feel better.
I like corn dogs.
Well, Jimmy, if you're good, we might go get a corn dog later. Alright, the fancy RTs, they're called the Caridina cantonese. That's their scientific name. Their common name is the fancy RT or the red tiger. So, a little bit about them. What we like to keep these guys at, our TDS we like to keep between 1 and 200. The pH we like to be between 6.5 and 7.8. The GH is between 4 and 6. And then the KH is between 0 and 2. The temperature, these guys do like it a little bit warmer. I like to keep most of my tanks between 65 and 72 degrees. These guys like it around 75 to 78 degrees, which a little toasty, but hey, guess what? You know, they like that warm weather and that warm water, so it works for me. Now, the stand of the tank, the stand is just a very seamless, clean look. The tank is actually a rimless. Now, we do have a couple, we have an Aqueon hang on the back filter. That's just to keep, because it is a 40-gallon breeder, it's just to keep the movement of the water so that it doesn't get too stagnant. We originally just had the two dual sponge filters in the back, but it wasn't enough water movement to keep everything moving around and keeping it clean. So we threw on the hang on the back filter, and it drastically helped it out. Now, a word of recommendation that if you do put a hang on filter on the back, you got to be careful because the suction on the bottom on the intake is a little strong, and if you have a shrimp get up to it, they might get sucked up into it. Now, we found that out the hard way. We actually had we were cleaning the filter and we opened it up, and here's this little baby shrimp on the inside. So We caught them, relocated them, but what we did is we took some carbon pad and wrapped it up on the bottom. That way it keeps the water flow coming in. It's also another additive where you can add an extra step in your filtration. But so that's the show tank, guys. Make sure these guys, like I said in the first video, they are not on our website, but if we get enough comments and likes, you know, we very well may put them up. Check out all of our other shrimp on our website at www.bluedogaquatics.org, and also check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Blue Dog Aquatics. Okay guys, if you like some of the items that we described today, whether it was the light or the substrate, make sure to check out the links below. We'll make sure to add them for you guys. Now the question still stands, Jimmy. Your tank or mine?
Bye.